Just checking something there, folks. But I wanted to do this video because I just saw something on Twitter. Someone had started a website. I'm going to try to find it again. Well, basically, they started to do. It's kind of a database website, something. Because as we all know, and I did a video on this, Toys R Us is coming to an end. For a lot of the stores, all 800 something of them, we're not really sure when the final days would be. Some are projecting this St. Patrick's Day weekend, which is this weekend, which is right now. Probably as soon as yesterday or something. Some are projecting maybe months from now. Some are projecting weeks. It all depends. I still look at the fact that I think there will still be some Toys R Us stores open, but they're going to be following the same suit as Blockbuster, and that is they're going to be family owned. In other words, people are going to personally own these Toys R Us. So in a way they'll kind of have some kind of loophole that will allow them to still sell the exclusive stuff that they have. Like I showed you with the Tempest Shadow plush, which is a Toys R Us exclusive. They'll still be able to sell stuff like that because it's technically still under the Toys R Us license. It's just not part of the major corporation anymore. So I think they'll find some kind of loophole. And like I said, I truly believe Toys R Us is going to make a comeback. I think even Pat Conter, the Pat the NES punk. I do apologize if I pronounced that wrong, Pat, if you're watching. But Pat and Ian in the CU podcast clip that I saw, basically in their own subtle way, kind of indicated that this isn't the end of Toys R Us. It's like Toys R Us is still going to be around. It's just right now it's the end of it's the end of this era of Toys R Us. It's the end of this chapter of Toys R Us, and now in time a new chapter, a new beginning is going to come around, and I truly believe that's going to happen. I truly believe what's going to happen is Toys R Us is going to be back, but it's going to follow the same path. Like I said in one video, it's going to follow the same path that Circuit City and other major retail businesses that have had to file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy and have gone under have been doing lately, and that is basically starting out small in smaller areas and smaller spaces to get the business going and to see if maybe people still want something like a Circuit City or a Toys R Us around. And I think that's what Toys R Us is going to do. They're going to follow in that suit. They're going to eventually go in that direction. I mean, you can't tell me that KB Toys isn't still around. It is. It's just not as noticeable as it used to be anymore, because maybe they're in the more smaller, compact areas, like smaller places. And you got to realize a lot of these toy areas, these toy stores, whether they're reboots or soft resets of established toy stores of the past, you got to realize that they, along with some independently owned ones, they have connections to Hasbro, they have connections to Mattel, they have connections to Lego, and they have connections to what's the word? To Funko. They have all these connections. Mattel, Bandai, Hasbro, Lego, you name it, Play School, if you will. All these major licenses for older kids, collectors, and younger kids and preschoolers, whatever, they have connection. All these independent toy store people have connections. They have a way to get licenses granted to them so that they are able to not only have a shipment sent to them, but they're able at times to probably have an exclusive that you can only get at their area. Which is what, and even though you may not know much about, they got an exclusive that you can only get here, they have that ability. That's why, like I said, there are smaller venue stores out there that are basically soft resets of companies, of retailers that used to be major, like Circuit City and a few others. K&B Toys, I'm sure, is one of them, just to name a few. But the one question that this person pointed out, and the reason he put this database site together, was wondering exactly what's going to happen to the exclusive toys and figures and collectibles and plushies that have been a part of Toys R Us. In other words, what's going to happen to, let's say, that Tempest Shadow plush that is sold at a Toys R Us store? What's going to happen to it? Who's it going to go to? What's going to happen to, let's say, well, if you watch Ben and John's recent video, which possibly was the last trip to Toys R Us, you wonder what happens to, let's say, something like the Equestria Girls movie set or movie figures that they got. Basically, it's basically like a set of figures that consists, from what I saw, of Sunset, Rarity, Starlight, Pinky, and it looked like DJ Pone. I'm not really sure. Vinyl Scratch. I'm not really sure if to look at. Or Daring Do, I think. Daring Do was one of them. But anyway, yeah, Daring Do was one of them. But anyway, you wonder exactly what's going to happen to that set. You wonder what's going to happen to some of the exclusive Disney sets that you could only find at Toys R Us. The exclusive Transformer figures and sets you can only find at Toys R Us. People are wondering what's going to happen to the exclusives. And some people have said that Entertainment Earth may get a majority of them, seeing as though they already sell Toys R Us exclusives on their site. Some have probably figured, some people probably figure, oh, well, some people might go in there and buy the whole lot or remaining lot of Transformer figures or exclusive Transformer Toys R Us figures and sell them online, like, they're doing now. Some would figure Big Bad Toy Store or TF Source would do that. But the way I look at it, honestly, in my opinion, is the ones that are going to get the exclusives are going to be the ones that many people have said have been the cause for this happening. And that, of course, is where I work: Walmart, Target, Amazon, and I would say Target, Amazon, Walmart, and I would say a few mall outlets with those anime-like stores. That's what I look at. I look at like some mall outlets like Hello Anime in Chicago, and a few others just like that around the country that's going to get some exclusive. Hot Topic, there's one. Hot Topic, I think, is going to be another one. So if you look at not just 3 but 4, okay, let's look at 5. 5 primary areas that might take up the licensing for the Toys R Us exclusives and start making them their exclusives. I look at where I work, Walmart being one. I look at Amazon being another. I look at Target as being another. I look at Hot Topic as being one. And I look at Entertainment Earth as being one. I really do. I see those 5 being the ones that are going to I see those 5 being the ones that are going to grab on to the exclusive licenses that Toys R Us used to have when it came to some of the major toy companies like Hasbro, Mattel, Lego, Playskool, Bandai, Funko, who else? I'm trying to think. Like I said, Mattel, Funko, Bandai, Hasbro, you name it. I think, honestly, those 5 companies are going to be the ones to grab hold of them. here's how I see it happening. Let's start with Entertainment Earth. Entertainment Earth, from what I understand, seems to be more like a collectible site, a site for collectors. So I see Entertainment Earth gaining the Funko and Guardians of Harmony fan series Toys R Us exclusives licensed over to them. So if you have a fan series, so let's say for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic or My Little Pony the movie, let's say you have an exclusive of, let's say, the Tempest Shadow Twilight thing. Let's say the Tempest, hold on for a sec, let me carefully get it down if I can. But let's say the Tempest Shadow Twilight Sparkle Battle for Friendship figure was a Toys R Us exclusive. This could be something that, as a Toys R Us exclusive, that exclusive license, if you will, gets bought up. That exclusive license gets bought up by Entertainment Earth. And any other MLP, Guardians of Harmony, fan series, Toys R Us exclusives could end up in that same category. Same with some of the Funko exclusives. And we're not just talking MLP. Any Friday Night at Freddy's, any DC comic ones, Marvel comic ones, what else? Disney ones, you name it, Star Wars ones. Any of those Funko figures could end up being bought up. Any of those exclusive Toys R Us Funko figures could end up being bought up by Entertainment Earth. So that's what I see happening there. Like, Entertainment Earth could be the kind that's going to get the fan series, the MLP fan series Guardians of Harmony Toys R Us exclusives, or that were exclusive to Toys R Us and you can only find at Toys R Us, as well as I see them also gaining the license and exclusives of the Funko figures that you can only find at Toys R Us. The Toys R Us exclusive Funko figures of, like I said, ponies, Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, DC, Harry Potter, Star Trek, you name it, Transformers, you name it. So I see that happening. I really do. Now, moving on, let's go to my job. My job, of course, where I work, doesn't have that big of a toy selection, but I think they're kind of gradually trying to work on making it bigger and more impressive at times. But let's take a look at Walmart as a whole. They have a lot of exclusives. There is no doubt. The Rainbow Dash airship was a Walmart exclusive. The My Little Pony Pirate Collection was a Walmart exclusive. The Canterlot Sequestria Castle plus bonus figures, basically an extension of what you got from that, was a Walmart exclusive. Now I know you're thinking, well, that was everywhere. Well, this one was more of a bigger exclusive one because you got additional figures with it, or something like that. What else? Trying to think what else was an exclusive. Well, there were several Transformers that were exclusives. That's a fact. Excuse me. Oh yeah, the pirate plushes that I showed you before, which are basically just repainted, restuffed plushes previously of Twilight, Pinky, and Rainbow Dash. The pirate plushies I showed you before, those are Walmart exclusives. Things like, there are things like that are Walmart exclusive. And I'm sure there's, and of course, like I said, there are Transformers that were Walmart exclusives. There's a set of Star Wars Funko figures that recreate scenes from the original movies that are Walmart exclusive. The point is, there's a lot of Walmart exclusives of different licenses and franchises. And I see Walmart, if I check my time here, I'm just checking my time, I see Walmart as being a company that will gain several of the Toys R Us exclusive licenses over to them. Like, I can see several Transformer figures, sets, if you will, especially now with the powers of the primes and all that. I can see some of those gradually going from being Toys R Us exclusives to becoming Walmart exclusives. I can see the same with the My Little Pony sets, movie-based and Friendship is Magic, and Equestria Go-Wise. I can see a lot of those exclusive Toys R Us sets and figures becoming exclusive to Walmart. What else? Let's see. I can see a lot of the Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse figures and all that are exclusive to Toys R Us becoming exclusive to Walmart. I can see that happening. So anything that's like, set wise, in like exclusively figure wise, or set wise like combiners or play sets, whatever. I could see those that were and still at times are Toys R Us exclusives. I could see those combiner sets. I could see of Transformers, those Power of the Prime combiner sets and individual character exclusives, along with, and just like with the ponies and all that. I could see all those Toys R Us exclusives that, like I mentioned, of My Little Pony, Transformers, individual figures and sets. I could see all of those becoming Walmart exclusive. I could see, like I said, exclusive Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse figures becoming Walmart exclusives. The same can be said with Target. Target, I think, is doing well on its own with exclusives, but I think they'll kind of get a share of the market with Walmart, so there'll be certain things more so, there'll be certain things that they'll get. I look at it this way: Target and Walmart are going to break even when it comes to exclusive figures and sets of any toys, any franchise toys that were exclusive to Toys R Us. Like I say, the Transformer play sets and figures and combiner sets, the My Little Pony individual figures and sets. I can see them splitting down the middle and getting half and half of those exclusives and basically converting them from Toys R Us to Walmart exclusives and Target exclusives. That's what I see. Hot Topic, I can definitely see cutting into the market of getting some of the MLP plushes that are exclusive to Walmart. So like that Tempest Shadow plush, I could see that heading over to Hot Topic. I could see any MLP plush that's exclusive to Toys R Us, like I just mentioned, going to Hot Topic. I can even see some of the Funko figures that I mentioned, like I mentioned earlier, that Entertainment Earth could probably get. I kind of see them going over and being part of Hot Topic. Same at Amazon. I think Amazon's going to probably be the big winner because they'll basically be able to get everything exclusive to them. In a sense, they'll be able to get everything, but there will be some major exclusives that Amazon will probably get in the end as well. So basically, that's really what's going to happen to, I believe, the exclusives, the Toys R Us exclusive figures and toys, that they're going and where they're going to end up. So let me know what you guys think though down below. Comment if you like, and I'll talk to y'all later. Let me know where you think they will end up as well.